Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing great. I'm checking in for a quick update because I've been super busy, unusually busy the past few weeks, so I have not had time to really film anything between work and then my private work and then my family and an injury that I'm suffering right now, which I'll get into. It's been a wild few weeks, so I did have a couple of minutes just now. It's a beautiful day in New Jersey. We are at 65 degrees right now, which is unbelievable. We had a brutal winter, a lot of snow, more snow than I remember in my whole life since I was a little kid in this area. And so we got through that, and then all of a sudden we had like 2 days that were like in the 80s, and it was like, yes, we made it. And then boom, it was like right back into the 30s until today, which is now in the mid 60s, which is, oh, it feels so good. I know we survived the winter now. We're pushing through March here, and I think we survived. So I scheduled an appointment to get my snow tires removed off the truck and put on the all-season tires, which are the normal tires that these trucks come with, and looking forward to getting that done. And then while I'm there, I will be discussing with my sales rep at the amazing Tesla service center that I go to about the potential of grabbing one of the last Model S plaids ever made. I have to admit that when Elon announced that he was canceling the Model S and the Model X, I didn't understand the move. I don't understand a lot of Elon's decisions, but I have to, have faith and trust that that guy knows how to run businesses, because the results show and speak for themselves. So from a business perspective, you know, I have no doubt that he knows what he's doing. From a selfishly personal perspective, my favorite car in the world, my grail car that I always envisioned owning one, was a Model S Plaid, which is, if you don't know what the Plaid versions of the Model S and X are, they are the insane 1,000 horsepower rocket ships. So I'm looking into potentially swapping out the Cyber Beast for one of the last models, or one of the last year make and model of the Model S Plaid, because I can't imagine not owning one of those cars before they disappear. And Tesla says they're going to support these cars throughout the whole life cycle. So support is not a problem. Not concerned about that. If anything, I would imagine the last model year of the Plaid variant is going to be highly sought after. So perhaps it won't depreciate the way normal cars do. Not that cars are ever a good investment. They are never a good financial investment. But I have a feeling that once those cars disappear and there's dwindling supply of the Plaids, that over 1,000 horsepower sedan that does everything, it is, to me, in my opinion, the most bang for your buck supercar for the money that you can get, and it does everything. It's like comfortable. It could be a daily driver. It can be a track car. It can be a absolute demon. And with a track package, it goes 200 miles an hour. Not that I'll ever do that. But I have a big fear of missing out. And I work hard and I like to play hard. And I'm going on a little bit of a Tesla rant, which I know is a unique audience out there. People are not super interested in Tesla the way I am. But I'm going to shelve the Tesla stuff. Eye update. My left eye is getting progressively worse and worse. The cataract in there is getting worse. I have a scheduled surgery for May, early May, so I'm trying to survive until then. But my left eye is really blurry, to the point where I do full self-driving if I'm driving at night. I do not drive at night. I let the cars drive themselves. And, you know, until I get this surgery, do not feel confident manually driving at night, because my only eye is my right eye, which has had a cataract surgery. And if you know anything about post cataract surgery side effects, one of them is haloing when you get hit with bright lights. So I get a little bit of starring going on. So headlights at night, I'm gonna have to experiment once I get the other eye done with the the yellow glasses that block glare. So I'll mess around with those a little bit once I'm post surgery on the left eye. So I'm really looking forward to that surgery. Injury, we're renovating a master bathroom in our house. What a fiasco it has been. The price has ballooned by a third, and we are way over what we wanted to spend because we found some problems. We have a very old Tudor house, which is, beautiful, old craftsmanship, but every time you open up a wall in an old house, you find other problems to fix. So that's exactly what happened. We gutted the master bathroom and found out that there was a probably several year old leak in one of our skylights, and we had to get part of our roof ripped off and replace the shingles and the plywood and get a new skylight installed, which is cool. Everything's getting modernized in the house. So and we're still in the middle of that. We'll probably have another week of contracting going on in our house, and then we'll be done. How I got injured was I was working from home one day, and I was expecting our tile delivery, and I looked out the window and saw the truck parked at the edge of my driveway, and the guy was going to leave 2,000 pounds of tile at the the edge of my driveway by the street. So I went running out and I said, "Hey, can we get this up the driveway into the garage?" And he said, "There's no way I can do that. It's too heavy." And I said, "Come on, man. Well, I'll help you." And so I'm pushing, on this, hydraulic lift. I'm pushing 2,000 pounds of tile up my driveway, and I injured my left Achilles tendon. I didn't feel it at the time, but it got progressively worse over the past couple of weeks. And on Thursday, I was in so much pain that I saw a doctor friend of mine, and he said, "You should get an MRI." That was Thursday. Friday, I was in the MRI machine at one of our clinics, and I got my MRI done. So I'm waiting for the results. I'm hoping that it's just a tendon strain and not a partial tear. Because at my age, I'm going to be 50 this year. Every time I get injured, I think of it in terms of how many months is this one going to be. So I'm really hoping there's not a partial tear. If there is a partial tear, I'll have to put a boot on, and I'll have to, immobilize the ankle for many months. And I am not looking forward to that. So I really hope that that's not the case, but I'll find out probably tomorrow. Personal business stuff. Huge weekend. I mean, I have been struggling with Apple back and forth with their security people, and I built an application that runs on Mac, iPhone, and iPad. It's an ambient AI meeting assistant, and basically it listens to the content being discussed in the room, and it offers you live analysis of the meeting as it's happening. So if we're talking about something, it's listening, and it's like having a super genius LLM as your co-pilot throughout a meeting, and it's whispering questions for you. "Hey, I heard them mention this. You should ask this." It is amazing. And so I had this idea. I wanted an app like this. It didn't exist. So I built it, and I showed a few friends of mine, and they were like, "You need to monetize this and get it on the Apple Store." And that's what I've been doing for the past couple of months. I set up a new LLC. I have a business checking account. Everything's all set up. And what I've been doing is going through the Apple App Store review process And if you've been through that, or you know someone who's been through it, you know that it is intense and they are very thorough. And any application with AI and data leaving your device, because the transcripts will leave the device to go out to the cloud to be processed and back. Anytime data is leaving one of an Apple device, they look at the app with a fine-tooth comb, and I probably had to do about 20 different separate revisions of this app in order to get it through the security review, which happened this weekend. So I am celebrating. It's a huge accomplishment, just to take an idea and to realize it, and then to see it go out into the world, and it's on the app stores. It's publicly available globally, and now we'll see what the free market decides. Because really, one of the cool things about doing a business venture is that there's no favoritism. There's no you're a nice guy, I'll use your app. The free market is brutally honest. It's either worthwhile and people will pay for it because it makes their life better, or it won't, and they won't. So there's no better judge of the quality of your work than the free market. And this was a really fun personal project, and I'm really proud of what I built. And I did it totally solo. It's mine. I built it from scratch, from an idea, and then to see it out on the Apple app stores for the Mac and the iPhone, it's very cool. So I'm celebrating a little bit this weekend. Very happy that that's done. Had a lot of bumps along the way with this one, and we're gonna watch it. And I have several other ideas in the pipeline that are all connected to this company, to this business, and we're gonna see how that goes. That's one of the fun things in life, is to have a passion project and then see it, launch and be publicly available. Is just one of the most satisfying things you can do. So the eye, I'm just biding my time right now. Can't wait for that surgery to happen. So early May, hopefully this eye, saga and journey will come to a conclusion, and I could fully move on with my life. So I'm still trying to decide where to take this channel, because as my eye situation improves and stabilizes, I have to decide, do I continue making content? I mean, I started this channel to talk about my eye surgeries and the process because there wasn't a lot of information out there, and I figured I would share my experiences because it might help people. And I have found hundreds of people like messaging me and really thankful, and I felt like I was doing a service by talking about this stuff. And then what I learned was that it's actually kind of fun to talk about stuff that you're interested in and that you're going through in your life. And so I'm trying to think of where to take the channel in the next phase, which will be still focused on wellness and all the journeys of getting older and trying to stay healthy, and try to stay on top of your various games in life, because we all are juggling a lot as we get older. We have work, family, hobbies, money, finance, all this stuff that sometimes it's nice to hear that everybody's going through their own kind of challenges, and it's fun sometimes to go along on the journey with people. So if anyone has any ideas, or wants to hear about certain aspects of my professional life, I can talk in generalities about my IT career, and my other projects, my AI work, and some of the private business stuff, or Tesla, or investing, health, wellness, working out. Working out's a big part of my life. I couldn't squat all week, which, for me, to not squat in a week or do legs is tough, because I've gotten to a point in my life where working out and physical fitness is such an integral part of my mental well-being routine that without it, I do feel a little different. I feel a little, more stressed out, easily stressed out, and I just don't feel as stable as to when I'm able to really work out hard. I try to do it daily, and I try to be physically active in some way daily, but usually it's lifting or some kind of cardio. Now that it's getting nicer out, hopefully with my Achilles situation, I can go on some runs soon. And I did gain a lot of weight this winter. I was shocked. I am the heaviest I've ever been. I'm still relatively lean, but I definitely put on some winter weight, which was my goal, was to get bigger and stronger this winter. And I'm the biggest and the strongest that I have ever been. And when I was going through all my eye surgeries and I had to take months and months off from the gym, I realized that I was relying so heavily on the gym for my outlet, for my stress relief, that I really needed to diversify some of my interests and some of my protocols, I guess you would say. So I've found a lot of other things that bring me joy, and this winter I stayed strict with lifting. Definitely not as intensely because I started a new role at work, and so I've been really very busy professionally, but it's time. It's getting warmer. We're going to get back on track. We'll get the diet dialed in. It's just math. If you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to build muscle or you're like whatever it is, it's just math. Your body's a machine, and it will respond if you give it the right set of criteria. It has no choice but to adapt. If you want to gain weight, you got to eat in a calorie surplus and lift. If you want to lose weight, you got to eat a certain amount of protein every day, track your calories, go in a calorie deficit, and lift. You always have to lift or you're going to lose muscle if you're losing weight. But I could get into a lot of the fitness stuff that I've learned over the years. I have it pretty dialed in. I feel like if I wasn't doing IT work and I wasn't so interested in technology, I would probably be doing some kind of fitness or physical therapy, physical training, something like that. Because aside from my professional career, physical fitness is the only thing that comes close in terms of the satisfaction that I get from improving and learning about all this stuff and health protocols. So I'm rambling a little bit, but I just wanted to get a video out. It's going to be a really busy April. That's a lot of stuff going on at work. And hey, we'll see if not this Friday coming, but the Friday after is when I go meet with Tesla, and we'll see if I kiss this truck goodbye, which, to be honest, I feel mixed emotions about it because I absolutely love this vehicle. It is the most technologically advanced vehicle on the road, no questions, hands down, amazing. I'm gonna miss it if I get rid of this, but we'll see. We'll make a decision, and who knows what'll happen. That's the fun thing in life. If the numbers make sense and it's a good opportunity, you got to get the last Model S Plaid that you can get. I would think that's a no-brainer, and then you can always buy another Cybertruck down the road if I miss it that much. But I can't justify both, unfortunately. I just don't drive enough. There's no reason to have two vehicles, and they're a total waste of money and just a complete fun luxury buy if that were to happen. But you know, you gotta enjoy life along the way. I never had this outlook on life before my eye surgeries, and now I'm in a situation where I'm like, you know, enjoy life a little bit, have some fun, take the trip, spend the money, go out to that nice restaurant, you know, within reason. And if you're responsible with money, you can do all this stuff. You don't have to put, you know, eat beans and rice every day so that you max out your 401k and you're, you know, buying stock. And, you know, when you get to this age, 50, you realize how fast life goes. And it's like you're in your 20s, you're in your mid 20s, you're like 25, and then boom, you're 50. It's like, and I'm only assuming that the next 25 years are going to go just as quickly. So I'm trying to maximize and enjoy and harness every last drop of life, you know, before this journey's over. So that's what I would recommend to everyone. Be responsible, but have fun. And I hope everybody's doing great. Just a quick update. As we get closer to the eye surgery, I'm going to start posting updates, and maybe I'll document some of that. And that's it. That's where I'm at. Be sure, if you haven't, to like and subscribe to the video, because we broke 500 people, which is unbelievable. And hopefully we can get to 1,000 this year. That would be cool. But again, enjoy the upcoming spring, and I hope everybody's happy, healthy, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.